happen around here.
A community turned upside down. How Randolph and Macon County residents are reacting.
A possible new break time in Columbia. I'll tell you which group is now giving their support.
Plus, possible changes to the U.S. Postal Service and local workers react. KOMU-8 News at 6 starts now.
From Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU-8 News at 6.
I will say, although tragic, this is a great example of city, county, and state law enforcement agencies working together for the justice of the citizens we serve.
2 men are in custody after a crime spree through Randolph and Macon counties. Good evening. I'm Brittany Pieper.
And I'm Jim Rake. Thanks for joining us. The 2 men are in custody after a massive manhunt in those 2 counties, Randolph and Macon. The Randolph County prosecuting attorney filed charges of first-degree murder against Jeffrey Nichols and Christopher Lewis. Their bond was set at $1 million. Here's a timeline. Authorities say the 2 men left the Moberly Walmart in a stolen vehicle. The sheriff's department got involved when the suspects reportedly stole a second vehicle, plus a report of 2 people shot on Route D. The victims are currently in the hospital, one in serious condition, the other in fair. Police tried contacting the owner of a stolen vehicle that was set on fire. They found the 92-year-old owner dead in her Higbee home. Now, the crime spree rattled the residents of Moberly, who are still shaken tonight. KOMU-8's Eric Hilt is live at the Randolph County Sheriff's Department with reaction. Eric?
Moberly residents say that they're disgusted by the crimes, but mostly shocked that it could happen in their community. The residents I talked to said that they don't believe Moberly is a small town, but it is a very tight-knit community. Everybody knows each other, or at least knows a relative of somebody. They say that the closeness of the community is what makes this crime so surprising.
Kind of disgusted. You know, I'm shocked that something like that would happen around here.
I'm sure everybody's pretty, shooken up about it. It doesn't happen very often, if at all around here.
And several of the people I talked to this afternoon believe that they knew the victim, or at least somebody who was affected by the crime in some way, whether they're related to the victim or somebody who knew the victim. They say that their thoughts and prayers are with the victim and their family, and they hope that something like this never occurs in their community again. Reporting live in Moberly, Eric Hilt, KOMU-8 News.
Exceptional spring-like temperatures from your east.
The Columbia City Council will vote tonight on a new break time at the intersection of Grindstone and Rock Quarry. KOMU-8's Marie Mandelberg is live at that site. Now, several residents had expressed concerns about the break time, but now this proposal is gaining some support.
The proposed plan would rezone these 2 acres from agricultural to commercial use. Last year, residents at nearby Sun Court signed a petition against that proposal. Increased traffic and safety issues were potential problems for residents, but 4 Sun Court residents recently wrote these letters to City Council members showing their support. The letters state, after further consideration, we have come to a better understanding of the MFA oil break time project and feel comfortable with it going forward. These letters also include support for an 8-foot-tall privacy fence that would go between break time and the residents' property. The City Council meeting is at City Hall tonight at 7 p.m. Reporting live in Columbia, Marie Mandelberg, KOMU-8 News.
Missouri lawmakers sent Governor Nixon an extra budget for the current fiscal year, which includes a $14 million increase for the High Needs Fund. This reimburses schools for students who cost more than 3 times the amount a typical student does. The fund typically increases by about 10% each year. This year's increase is 18%. Educators say that increase is a result of more children with special needs, 600 more since the year 2010. The increase is also due to districts maximizing their reimbursements. Statewide, schools received $26 million in 2009 for special needs. This year, schools will get more than $40 million. Educators say they will also use part of the fund to pay off schools for bills from last year.
Former Missouri Congressman Todd Akin roughly doubled his office payroll after losing a campaign for U.S. Senate. Tracking website Legistorm.com shows Akin paid his 14-person staff nearly $400,000 in the final quarter of 2012. Now, that's twice as much as the $200,000 quarterly payroll that Akin averaged throughout the rest of the year. An Akin staffer says the bonuses were part of a separation package for staffers who lost their jobs because of his defeat in the last election.
Current and former post office workers protested in downtown Columbia today over possible changes at the airport and mail distribution facility. The Postal Service could move 42 Columbia workers to St. Louis or Kansas City. Workers fear that could eventually force the distribution center to close. Workers handed out flyers today highlighting community effects. The flyers say the facility received an award last year for being #1 in 10 of 12 categories in excellence and efficiency.
I talk to people quite often that do not even know that there's a mail facility, that the mail is even processed down there.
With downsizing, Mid-Missouri Mail could go to St. Louis for processing. There is a public forum tomorrow night at the Holiday Inn Executive Center in Columbia.
Business owners are watching very closely this evening as U.S. senators appear on the verge of unveiling an immigration package when they return from spring break. Big business and labor groups reached a deal last week on a guest worker program that was holding up the process. NBC's Danielle Lee has more.
At the Griffin in Washington, D.C., I'm Danielle Lee, NBC News.
Republicans want to avoid any plan that looks like amnesty for people who came to the U.S. illegally. Veterans risk their lives every day overseas. Coming up, the story of a Missouri veteran who risked his life here at home.
And mostly clear skies with below average temperatures will continue for your Tuesday, but we do have a nice warm up on the way heading into the weekend. We'll talk all about the details coming up right after the break.
Now, your live Doppler 8 First Alert weather with weathercaster Rosie Newberry.
Well, welcome back, everyone. At just about 6:12 now on your Monday afternoon, taking a live look over Columbia Regional Airport. And they can stand something that cold, then they can't stand the heat, but they can flatten the fur on their bodies to
well, of
get
course.
through that is what we're
After
learning
all,
about
they're a wolf,
today,
you
guys.
know? Don't ever underestimate a wolf.
Don't underestimate.
All right, Rosie.
Thanks, Rosie.
We know veterans have done a lot to serve their country.
Up next, we'll tell you the story of one Missouri veteran who has done more than his fair share.
A Missouri Army veteran comes to his neighbor's rescue after she fell on the ice and broke her hip.
Evan Whitlock heard the cries for help when the elderly woman was trapped under her upstairs deck in the cold weather. Alex Fees reports.
I laid there and I just screamed. And I said, somebody please answer me. And nobody would answer me.
81-year-old Betty Andres.
Thank you to Evan for what he did.
Evan had a busy day, didn't he? Kansas City's new ace took to the mound on opening day.
We'll have highlights from the pitcher's duel in Chicago coming up in sports.
Now, from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU-8 Sports with Chris Gervino.
Hello, everyone. The Major League Baseball season is underway, and that is sports.
Chris, thank you very much. Lots of people are looking to add a little color to their lives.
After the break, we'll tell you where in the world you can do just that. If you're going to visit India during the colorful Holi festival, prepare to be hit with a variety of colors. People drenched themselves in colors yesterday during Gair. It's a holiday that comes 4 days after the Holi festival. This procession in the city of Indore has become famous around the country because the city's water cannons drench people with brightly colored water.
Wow.
Jim, you should go next year.
I don't think so. I'll just stay right here. I'll do that ice thing, that polar freeze thing, you know. Coming up on KOMU-8 News at 9 and 10, a live report from the Columbia City Council meeting, what members are saying about adding a new break time in town. Plus, the mayor and council members in Jefferson City may soon experience a huge change in their wallets. We'll tell you why at KOMU-8 News at 9 and 10.
And of course, we've got to talk about what's going on with your weather this evening. If you're heading out, go ahead and grab that light jacket. Temperatures are still hovering pretty well into the middle and upper 40s, but we're going to be losing those temperatures tonight as under clear skies, we're not going to be able to hold on to a whole lot of that daytime heat, and there wasn't a whole lot of it out there today anyway. Sunrise temperatures as we slide into your Tuesday morning going to be into the upper 20s. Guys, that's pretty painful for this time of the year. We are actually into April now. Need to start feeling like those overnight lows are back into the 30s. Tomorrow's top temperature right around that 50-degree mark. Lots of sunshine on tap, guys. And the good news is it's all an uphill climb from here. We are going to be warm by this weekend, I promise.
I have been waiting for the forecast to look like this since I got here.
We'll get there. We'll get into the middle and upper 60s by Friday. It'll be great.
All right. Royals,
Oh,
They
an
lost.
exciting day.
Cards will play tonight, though.
All right. See you back here at 9 and 10.
Have a great night.